What's up there, guys? This is Cobb, and welcome to what's hopefully going to be a fairly quick rundown on my thoughts and feelings of everything that's been announced so far on day one of Blizzcon. Trying to get this video out pretty quick. I could make a more detailed version. Going to try not to go into detail on this one because, like I say, I wanted to be out there quick. I don't want to be working for like 2 days on a 40-minute in-depth video where I'm getting all the facts right and we kind of delving into things. We don't want that. We just want to get this one out fast for you guys. So yeah, we're going to be brushing over some announcements and showing some of the footage that was revealed at BlizzCon, and I'm basically going to be talking about what I think about them. Feel free to post down what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, let's get right into it, starting with, of course, World of Warcraft. So the first thing that we saw with World of Warcraft, we got the most fucking awesome, or I mean, there's a lot of awesome WoW cinematics out there, but the introductory cinematic to Legion that we got shown at the start of BlizzCon, I'll have it playing on screen right now. Just amazing. It's really awesome as well, you know, to see Sylvanas getting brought into it a little bit. She's one of the leaders that, I mean, a lot of people have been hoping for more Sylvanas-centric stories, I think, in WoW for a long time. She's been kind of sidelined a little bit, getting brought back into it here. And yeah, totally awesome. You can also see from the trailer as well, it kind of hints at Anduin getting brought into the story a little bit as well, so maybe that's kind of interesting for Alliance players. Not that I know anything about that. Yeah, we saw the introductory cinematic, fighting Ben and Legion. Everything just looks awesome as hell so far, because Blizzard cinematics, they never really failed to pull it off. And we're not really going through these in any particular order or anything. I'm just going to be kind of breezing over everything that's sort of WoW Legion related. We got some news on the kind of bonuses that you're going to get if you pre-order Legion. You pre-order Legion, I have some notes scribbled down on screen. You get a free 100 character boost, which always nice. You get to unlock Demon Hunters early, which is a thing. I'm guessing that's going to be like a week before launch or something. Surely they can't let you get that far ahead and let you get, I don't know, man. That seems a little bit crazy. It's gonna be interesting to see how they go ahead and execute that. What else do you get? I think that's it, really. Unless I've missed something, I think that's it. If you pre-order Legion, you get a free 100 boost, and you unlock Demon Hunters early on your account. They really went over a lot of stuff as well with WoW Legion that we already know. They talked a lot about Demon Hunters and the artifacts and the class halls. They talked about the Pillars of Creation, and now we're going to be going around the Shattered Isles and collecting Pillars of Creation from like a chunk of the pillar from each island, or each zone rather. So it's a lot of information that we already had, sort of rehashed a little bit. To do with artifacts, I'm not sure if this is information that we already had. I'll hopefully have a link down below in the description that you can check out. But basically, I'm pretty sure that all of the class and specs now have their artifact weapon decided for them. I'll be showing the Warlock one on screen right now. It's pretty badass looking. I quite like it. I mean, it is a staff. I'm not quite sure how I feel about having a staff thing, because like all of the transmogs that I've saved up over time have all been swords. I'm really big fan of the Spellblade. Not the daggers. It has to be a sword. It has to be something big and chunky. You know what I mean? But I guess that we can work with staffs. At least they didn't give us a wand or something like that. Did any of the poor bastards get wands? Do priests get wands or something? I don't know. I've got to check up on that kind of stuff so I can laugh at them. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm not quite sure how new this information is. But links are down below if you want to check out your class and specs artifact weapon. I just checked up. None of the poor casters got wands forced upon them as their artifact weapon. Quite disappointed at that. I was hoping to make some fun of them, but hey. But anyway, apart from all of that stuff that we already knew, we did get some more information on the Broken Isles, or the Shattered Isles, or whatever they're going to be called. The new zones. You'll be starting off in Dalaran, which I think is no surprise to anybody. Dalaran it's been mentioned quite a few times. But it was revealed today that at least 4 of the leveling zones are actually going to scale with your character's power level as you level up. And what that means is that you're not forced into a starting area. You can actually just go to any one of these 4 zones you want in whatever order you want. It actually makes things feel a little bit more like an adventure, because you can just kind of mount up or fly off to wherever you want to go in no particular order, or whatever order you want. If WoW was still an immersive game, I'd actually be really hyped about this, because this is an awesome feature for immersion, but unfortunately WoW just, yeah. But whatever the case, this should at least make leveling a teeny bit more interesting. Apparently, the endgame zone is going to be called Suruma. Suruma is the level 110 zone. It's going to serve some kind of purpose similar to Tanaan Jungle in Worlds of Draenor. That pretty much means that unless there's well PvP there, I won't be going there at all as a PvPer. But then again, on the subject of stuff to do out in the gaming world, right now in WoD we have things like Apexis dailies, which I haven't actually done a single Apexis daily ever in my life. So that's a thing that wasn't exactly compelling for me, but they brought up something new, a kind of daily questing system that you can go ahead and do at level 110 at the end game of Legion. And just glancing over to my little notepad really quick, these quests include dailies, like professions quests. Man, I typed these up way too quick. It's all over the place. PvP objectives, which is really fucking interesting, and I want to hear more about that. World raid bosses, and mini-games, whatever that means, just to read it directly how I typed it. So it seems a lot more interesting. Apparently these quests, they're a lot more random. They can appear almost in any zone, from what I understand. I mean, you essentially log in. This is how they said it anyway. You can log in, you basically hit your map, and you see all of these little quest icons just all over the fucking world map. Well, at least around the Shattered Isles. And you can pretty much go and do whatever quest you want, you know, whatever tickles your fancy. You can go and do that, you know, some PvP objectives if you want to do a professions quest. I guess they'll reward profession stuff. It actually sounds to me a lot more nice and a lot more freeing than the garbage, the mundane, grey garbage that are Apexis dailies that didn't appeal to me in the slightest, to the point where I haven't even done one before, like I said. These sort of interest me, especially if there's PvP objectives and stuff like that. Go and gank 10 pleberinos in, you know, High Mountain or whatever zone this is. That sounds like a pretty cool daily quest to me. I'd be up for going to do that. Man, go and open a window in here. Sweating. There was some raids announced and stuff like that. I had to jot these down. If not, I wouldn't remember them. We got the Emerald Nightmare and Suruma Palace. 10 dungeons on release, all that kind of stuff. Again, I don't want to get into the details of who the bosses are in these, because not only do I not care, because I won't be doing them, I also just want to kind of skip over everything, and I don't want to get into too much detail. Try and keep this video as snappy as possible. As far as the beta goes, apparently, Blizzard's words, not mine, they actually mentioned something about closed beta being set up, like whatever setup means, a few weeks after BlizzCon. Now, whether that means they're going to be set up and then left there for like 2 months or something like that, or whether they're going to be inviting really specific beta testers like they did with Overwatch, I don't know. Is it going to be closed beta? How tightly knit is the beta going to be? There's nothing really specific yet, but they did say that the beta servers are going to be set up a few weeks after BlizzCon. So if that means that beta's in a few weeks, then that's really cool as well. If it's going to take, you know, even a couple of months, I think I'd be satisfied with that as well. And to wrap up this WoW segment, we did get to see the trailer, or teaser, or whatever you want to call it, for the World of Warcraft movie. I might have, like, I'm kind of scared to have, like, a little snippet of this playing in the bottom corner or something, but I think I'm just going to go for it. I don't want to get wrecked for copyright or something, but it's going to be there. Looks fucking awesome. I know it's got nothing really to do with World of Warcraft, but hey, it might have some of you guys excited. I know it has me excited, so hey. Next we're going to cover Overwatch. Just jumping straight into that, there's a new map called Hollywood. That's a thing. I think that you go back into all of like the settings and stuff like that. It's like a sci-fi setting and like a western setting and all this kind of stuff. Tidbit of other news as well. Overwatch is going to be going to Xbox and PlayStation consoles. To me, that can only be a good thing. It just means a larger audience. Obviously, then the question that is always on people's mind is, you know, will the console and PC players be mixed in like matchmaking and stuff like that? The obvious answer is no. In bigger Overwatch news, we actually had 3 new heroes announced. Those are Mei, D.Va, and Genji. Just to summarize the heroes all really quickly, I mean, you can sort of click off this video and go and watch like the ability overviews and all that if you're interested in new Overwatch heroes. But just to summarize them, Mei is basically an ice-slinging kind of snow queen woman. We've got D.Va, who's basically a gamer grill. She runs around in a pink mech suit and shoots people and stuff like that. Genji, referring to my notes here, crazy ninja warrior who loves shurikens, can deflect and reflect enemy projectiles, has double jump and wall climbing, and is just cool. Man, my notes are the best. Those are probably the 3 worst overviews of the 3 new heroes that that you're going to ever see on the internet, but hey, it's out there. Like I said, there'll be ability overview videos and all that kind of stuff on the Overwatch channel. You can go ahead and check those out if you're more interested. It has also been confirmed that all heroes that are currently in the game right now well, not in the beta, but all 21 heroes that have been revealed are going to be fully available to play once you purchase the game. Whether or not heroes after those guys, the 21 that have been confirmed right now, whether or not you have to pay for them, or maybe spend like an in-game currency or something like that, it's not clear just yet how new heroes after this initial 21 are going to be playable, basically, whether you're going to have to buy them or not. I'd wager that you're going to probably have to buy them. When is Overwatch going to be released? We got a little bit of an update on that. Apparently it's going to be spring 2016. That probably means like, what, a May or June release, June at the latest, something like that. In fact, no, June would be a bit of a take piss. If they release it in June after seeing a spring release, that'd be a little bit cheeseball. Probably a May release. And to wrap up this section, they also went ahead and announced what they're calling the Origins Edition of Overwatch, which you can buy, and it unlocks a bunch of bonus stuff. I think that there's 5 different skins that you can unlock. So you unlock 5 skin variations for 5 heroes in Overwatch. You also unlock Tracer in Heroes of the Storm, when that eventually is implemented and comes to happen, whenever that's going to be. You also get a Winston pet in World of Warcraft. You get the Hearthstone card back, of course, as well as, a couple of things in Diablo and StarCraft, but I can't quite remember what those were, because I never played those games, sorry. And yeah, that basically wraps up Overwatch. Not sure how we're doing for time right now. I've been recording for like 27 minutes. I'm going to have to cut out as much of my crap as possible, because I'm just sort of babbling on now. So moving swiftly on to Hearthstone. There's going to be a new Hearthstone adventure, which is actually out in what, like 5 days or something? I'm looking down, I thought that I muted my microphone there for a second. I didn't, evidently. So anyway, the League of Explorers is coming out for Hearthstone. What's that going to do? Well, it's a whole new adventure mode. I think that there's like 40... Was it 43 or 45 new cards or something like that? Big bunch of new cards. The first card that they revealed was the Explorer's Hat. What the Explorer's Hat does is give a minion plus 1/1. At the cost of 2 mana, it's a 2 mana Wisp. Well, not quite, because that has immediate impact on the board. It's a little bit better than Wisp, but then again it's not, because it's 2 mana. It also gives the minion Death Rattle, return the hat to your hand, so you get to use that piece of shit again. But anyway, moving on, there is a new mechanic, a Discover mechanic. Seems like a lot of fun. You basically play a card. It'll have the effect Battle Cry Discover, and it might be Discover a 1-cost minion. So you play that card, you discover a 1-cost minion. It'll give you 3 1-mana cost cards to pick from. You pick one of those, and you essentially draw that card and add it to your hand. Some of them seemed really crap from what I'd seen. Some of them seem pretty good though. It's not all about the RNG with that, you can actually pick the card that you feel, of the 3 options that you get, you can pick the card you feel is going to help you out the most in whatever scenario or pickle that you found yourself in. So yeah, I feel like it's a lot better than just pure RNG. We also got a glimpse of a card called the Golden Monkey. What this card does, well, to actually gain access to this card, you play some legendary explorer minion, and what she does is place a map in your deck that costs 2 mana to use, so you eventually draw that map. So anyway, maybe like 8 turns later, you draw the friggin' map. So when you play the map, it draws you a card and places the Golden Monkey in your deck. So you've got to draw the map and then the Golden Monkey. When you eventually get the Golden Monkey though, it replaces, when you play it, it replaces all cards in your hand and the remainder of your deck with legendary minions. Now I can't decide whether this is just complete troll mode or whether it's just... because I think that it's awful. I think that it's going to be dreadfully bad most of the time. There's a reason that the all legendaries deck, where you have a deck full of legendary minions, there's a reason why that's not very good, and why it's not played by everyone who can just buy a million packs and just disenchant everything and just make that deck. But anyway, I like it anyway. It's full troll mode. Troll Den is going to have a field day with that shit. So yeah, it is what it is. We also saw that Rogues are getting some love. Shaman's getting some love, getting some good cards on the table. But I guess I'll just wait for Kripparrian and Trump to do their kind of valuation of the new cards, or evaluation rather. They're a lot more knowledgeable on the game than me. I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. I got Legend once with Zoo. I'm not qualified for that kind of shit. What do you mean? But yeah, now moving on to Heroes of the Storm. Last one on the list, last game I'm going to cover because, I'm just kind of going over the games that we play here on the channel. This one sort of surprised me. I didn't think for a moment that I would be so hyped about Heroes of the Storm announcements, but man, it took me by surprise. It got some awesome announcements to Heroes of the Storm. Okay, so first and foremost, we have a new game mode. It is called the Arena. So what's so awesome about the Arena? What has me hyped about the Arena system in Heroes of the Storm? Well, first of all, you join the game, and straight off the bat, you don't get to pick your hero, specifically. You get given a choice of 3 random heroes, and you just have to pick one, and, hope that you get a hero that you're good at, I suppose. If not, you just gotta learn to branch out and learn as many heroes as you can. So yeah, you pick a hero out of a random 3, your entire team and the enemy team all has to do this. Apparently, duplicates are allowed as well, so you could conceivably have ridiculous matchups like 4 Asmodans and a Lily versus 3 Diablos and 2 Johannas. Man, that would be fucking boring to watch, but hey, that's the one that came to mind. So that shit's pretty crazy. Apparently you start out with your ultimate ability, which leads me to believe that both of the teams are going to start out at level 10. And what you do is you fight it out on a small map. Apparently the maps are really small, they have one objective to contest, you're fighting over that objective from the word go. That for me is just like the perfect style of game mode, because if you're losing, you just get completely shreked. There's only one objective to fight over. If they win it, you basically lose. If you win it, you win. Whatever, you You kind of wash your hands of the game that you were in. You can just queue for another one straight away, you know, 5 minutes later. We also have a bunch of new heroes coming into Heroes of the Storm. Starting with, well, let's just go through them all first. We have Enchantress, aka Lunara. We have Greymane, who is the Worgen King, Lycan. And we have Cho'Gall, aka Ogre Magi. I mean, it's insane how obvious it is that Dota, you know, kind of came from Warcraft roots and all that kind of... Whatever, anyway, let's get on with it. So again, I'm not going to cover these guys in particular depth or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of brush over them. We got Greymane. He's kind of like a melee ranged hybrid. Uses his gun while in human form. Swaps into fucking Worgen form. Does crazy amounts of melee damage. That kind of stuff. Enchantress, aka Lunara. I'm just going to call it Enchantress, man. She is too similar to Enchantress. It's insane. Anyway, what she does, she has increased movement speed passively. She kind of bounds around the map. She can't mount as a result, but she has a bunch of mobility tools as well, like she has her ultimate. What the hell's it called again? Oh, it's just called Leaping Strike, actually, pretty simple. She can jump all over the fucking place. She's going to be really, really mobile. She's going to be like an Illidan Point 2 in some ways like that. Apparently, mobility is going to be complemented by poison attacks that slow enemy targets. And on top of that, she has a lot of anti-magic talents. Something to do with tying that in with like the old Warcraft lore and all that kind of stuff, which I didn't have a clue about. And then getting to the big one, we have Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall is amazing because, I mean, just cutting to the chase, he is one hero that is controlled by 2 players. Now that shit is just so crazy. One player will be controlling Cho, who's like the warrior half of the ogre, if you know what I mean. And Cho's basically meatball the head, you know, he's going to run in, he's going to be punching people. Cho controls the movement of the character as well. And then we have Gall, who is like the spellcaster. I'm kind of thinking of it as like, almost like a symbiote. You know, when you're playing Abathur, you symbiote somebody, and you're kind of attached to them, and you can only go where they go. I'm assuming it's going to be a similar kind of thing, only the difference is you're going to be a raid boss on Cho'Gall. In the words of Blizzard. Apparently each player can actually be working together. You can like combo their abilities and sort of be working in like a perfect partnership. Or can all just go to shit and the guy who's controlling Cho can just run in like an idiot feeder while the other head is just attached and is like, well, fuck. So whatever, I can see a lot of hilarious moments with this hero already. I can see it being really strong in the right hands. And actually, just to throw it out there before we move on, if Cho'Gall dies, it counts as a double kill. So yeah, him being like crazily strong does come with a cost. And final bit of news, not really news, but they're adding a new map called Towers of Doom. Man, I'm glad I typed all this stuff down. I wouldn't have remembered anything. Holy shit. But yeah, we've got Towers of Doom. We don't really know anything about it, to be honest. We just know that it's a new map, that it's going to be a thing. Looked pretty cool from what I saw in the trailers and all that kind of stuff. The art style looked up there with the best of them. And yeah, that is going to wrap up this video, guys. I hope I didn't blaze over stuff too quickly. Well, in fact, I didn't really have a choice. Like, I don't want to spend too long on this video. I don't want to be putting this video out, like, 3 days after Blizzcon ended. My review of Day 1 of Blizzcon. It just wouldn't really work that way, so for what it's worth, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to discuss whatever game you want, whatever has you hyped in the comments down below. I'll probably be making a video on Day 2 as well, if I feel like there's sufficient stuff to talk about. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, cheers for watching again, everybody. As always, remember to like this video if you did enjoy it. If you want to support the channel even more, you can head on over to the Patreon page and consider making a pledge. That fucking helps me out insane amounts. Links always down below. But anyways, thanks for coming by again, everybody. Have an awesome day. Hope you're enjoying BlizzCon as much as I am. And yeah, I'm going to catch all you guys just a tad bit later.